Kingdom to come here and to express the issues that are of concern to them about the veterans and about their needs and about how we as a Parliament and how we as a nation should be treating them. So it really has been a tribute to our armed service personnel, and I hope I speak for everyone when I say it's Parliament tonight saying in what such high esteem we hold our veterans and our armed service personnel. Soldiers have been ambassadors for Northern Ireland. Those soldiers who have come from the mainland and served in Northern Ireland, as one member mentioned, when they got to meet the ordinary folk, the people who supported them, the people who welcomed them there, the people who knew that they were there to protect their life and their property, they became ambassadors for those people when they came back home, when they returned home to their families. Likewise, soldiers who have travelled from Northern Ireland have been recruited in Ulster and work for the British Army overseas. They too have been ambassadors for our country and have told great things about it. And of course many, as my colleague from Strangford has just recited, many have paid the ultimate sacrifice for being the ambassadors of our nation. And of course it's because of that that we should do all that we can as a Parliament to help them and to assist their families and to make sure that the military covenant is honoured, not just in spirit but in the letter of the law in every part of the United Kingdom, not just some parts of the United Kingdom. I must say that whenever my colleague from Lagan Valley opened the debate tonight, the Right Honourable Member from Lagan Valley opened the debate, he did cite how this has affected not just people in the United Kingdom but indeed people now in the Republic of Ireland. And we welcomed the efforts that were made by the then Taoiseach Bertie Ahern to establish a memorial garden for the fallen victims of World War I who'd volunteered to fight for crown and country in the First World War and should have been honoured and were treated so disgracefully. But what gets me tonight, Mr Deputy Speaker, is the fact that before this debate we had a debate with pious tones about leadership, about what we should do for our country, how we should stand up and be together. And as soon as this debate on the military covenant started, I got a breeze of a wind of 3 SDLP members hurtling themselves out that door so fast it nearly took the hinges off it. And I think that's a disgrace. I think they should be here and they should have debated this issue and felt comfortable debating this issue. And the fact that they made themselves absent makes it all the worse for them, because they have let down many people in Northern Ireland tonight who they should have been speaking for and should have been supporting. The member for Lagan Valley rightly indicated that Section 75 is a great impediment to many of the issues that we seek to have introduced, in particular in housing. I would like it that the Northern Ireland Housing Executive, when a former soldier presents themselves to the Housing Executive, automatically he or she gets 200 or 300 points on the list. In other words, they can choose where they live. Because there's certain parts of Ulster they frankly will never be able to live in. And so they should have that advantage of being given extra points right away to be housed. They don't get that. We need that sorted. I know the Minister is listening to that because we've spoken about that before. And that is crucial. And again with housing, again with education, where you can place your children in primary schools in particular to make sure that they get to the right primary school where you know they will be safe. Because you know, if you have a roof over your head and your children you feel are safe and free from fear, you will be a better person in this society. And I think that we need to do all that we can to ensure that that is introduced. I was delighted by the comments from the Minister. We will give him room between now and I think it's December the 12th when we have our meeting with the Prime Minister to iron out some of these issues, because he's right, not all do support the agenda that we have in front of the House tonight. Let's use the time so that when we get to the 12th of December we actually have an agenda that is not only agreed but then can be taken forward and implemented, and I hope that we're able to do that. He mentioned the 170 Victoria Crosses issued to Ulster men and indeed to Irish men in the service of our country. One of them hailed from my own constituency, Robert Quigg from Bushmills, a brave and gallant man, a shepherd who laid his life in the line during the Somme and rescued, I think, 16 people from behind enemy lines in no man's land. And what a gallant soldier, and indeed what an inspiration to local people in that community where he is still hailed and with wonder. The member from Middlesbrough rightly highlighted the fact that the Green Berets or the Green Helmets were being disbanded and why that is so, and he's right to challenge that and he's right to question that, as was the member from York who did contrast the difficulty of veterans having in Northern Ireland who have to live next door to people who would have previously had them on their hit list. And he was right to indicate that we are at a point where a wave of cases are going to come before us very soon as a nation, which we will have to deal with and deal with appropriately. The member for Dyfed, with his lovely Welsh lilt, as usual entertained the House from all things from David Lloyd George and his speech then after the war about the broken men, and indeed how apt a speech it was. But I was delighted to hear the points that he made about this project that he is launching, and I look forward to it, about the banking services. I think that's a great idea, and I think it's something that we will watch with interest and see is there components of that which we can pick up and run with, not only in Ulster but I'm sure in other places, because the military covenant should be something which emboldens people to be creative and to find opportunities to deliver other services. And certainly I will look at that. His dispute with the former minister, I will leave him to that. But I think we are all agreed. We're all agreed that we want more money in the system for our veterans. And I think on that point, again, the minister did reassure us during the course of one of his interventions that the data protection patient consent issue is nearly now sorted out. And I think that is really good progress, because that is something which I know has caused some angst across the House. In the few minutes that I have left, I want to pay tribute to all the other members who took time here this evening to come to this House to speak about an issue of national importance, which we were proud to be able to put on the agenda tonight and to have our House, our National Parliament, debate. The member for Plymouth, who's a colleague of mine in the Northern Ireland Affairs Committee, I thought he made a very powerful intervention, a very powerful speech, and I congratulate him for it, because he's shown a keen interest in our servicemen in Northern Ireland when he's been on the Select Affairs Committee. But I would want to finish with the words from the member from West Dumbartonshire when she addressed the House from the dispatch box tonight, because she said that no part of the United Kingdom is untouched by the effects of this. And she got it in one. No part of this kingdom is untouched. Whether it's Ulster, Scotland, Wales or the mainland of England, we're not untouched by this, and we must make sure that we respond with valour and with decency, with honour for those people who we hold in such high esteem.